More is being revealed about how much Epstein was provided confidential information from people around the world, including here in the US. Kathy Rumler, the general counsel of Goldman Sachs, former White House counsel, was just forced to step down from Goldman Sachs because of her emails with Epstein. While Bloomberg News is reporting it, part of the DOJ release contains an email where Kathy Rumler forwarded a White House email, a non-public White House email to Epstein in order to get his advice. This is a similar pattern that's being revealed regarding Andrew, the former brother of King Charles, who evidently provided Epstein with confidential information while Andrew was the trade envoy. At least that is according to his recent arrest. The former prime minister of Norway, evidently also facing corruption charges because of the information he traded with Epstein. So this latest detail about what Kathy Rumler gave to Epstein is perhaps just the beginning of what is going to come out. We know we have a lot more emails to get through. My name is Dina Dahl. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Let's get into this. So this is actually about the Secret Service scandal that happened back in 2012. If you remember, about 12 members of the Secret Service who had gone in advance when Obama was going to a summit there in Colombia were then embroiled with a prostitution scandal. After that scandal, 8 Secret Service employees were relieved of duty and others were disciplined. And there was an Inspector General's report that came out in January 2013. Well, then in 2014, the Washington Post put out a story that there was also a White House employee involved. This is when Kathy Rumler went to Epstein in order to get advice for how to handle this, because she had been White House counsel at that time and was now evidently under consideration for the Attorney General. So she didn't want this scandal to probably implicate her or have it be a problem with her Attorney General consideration. But she went to Epstein, of all people, about a prostitution scandal. Epstein had already been convicted of his, non-prosecution agreement in Florida at that time. But as we know, and as other emails have come out, she went to Epstein often for advice. This is why she was forced to step down. He gave her $10,000 in gift cards to Bergdorf Gourmet, like a purse worth $10,000. And she gave him advice for how to handle the media with his sex trafficking charges and reputation. In fact, she was one of 3 people he evidently called the night that he was arrested in 2019. So the email that she evidently forwarded, this non-public White House email, was from the deputy press secretary, Eric Schultz. He forwarded this to Kathy Rumler because what this was about was there was evidently a White House volunteer on this advance team that the Washington Post was saying that this person was involved in this prostitution scandal as well, but they never kind of faced the consequences. And so the White House was dealing with this, and Kathy Rumler went to Epstein, of all people, for advice and forward him an email. Now, again, this is just a very small detail, but we are seeing in this latest release how much information was given to Epstein. Again, with Andrew in the UK, the former Norwegian prime minister, and often with some quid pro quo, perhaps Andrew with the blackmail, as Virginia Giuffre had said. Epstein told her that people owed her favors. So whether or not he did it with gifts and whether or not he did it with blackmail, we still are uncovering a massive amount with these Epstein emails, and obviously need to uncover a lot more. Magnesium is something most of us lack, and if you're taking a drugstore type, you're still not getting the full picture. Almost every supplement uses one form of magnesium, but magnesium comes in many forms, and each form helps your health in a different way. That's exactly why you need to try Qualia Magnesium Plus. Now, most people know that magnesium is critical for sleep, but some forms help muscle recovery, brain function, heart health, bone health, mood, and over 300 functions in the body. That's why Qualia Magnesium Plus is the only product to combine 10 bioavailable forms of magnesium with more than 70 trace minerals that help fuel magnesium support. It's full spectrum magnesium to deliver magnesium's full potential. Full body benefits include sleeping deeper, thinking sharper, recovering faster, supporting muscle strength, steadier mood and stress response, better energy metabolism. It's not just a sleep supplement. It's a full body magnesium system. Qualia Magnesium Plus has helped me, and I know it will do wonders for you. Experience the most trusted magnesium for purity, potency, and performance. Plus, it's non-GMO, vegan, and gluten-free, making it a choice you can feel good about. Go to qualialife.com/mistrial for 50% off. And here's a bonus. Use the code mistrial for an additional 15% off your order. That's QUALIA life.com/mistrial and use code mistrial. Thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this episode. So one of the things that Epstein says to her is breathe, smile, you're free. Again, Epstein, who not only got away with barely a slap on his hand in the 2008 non-prosecution agreement, as we know, continued to rape children and traffic, and it seems apparently to trade information for whatever purpose we are still trying to uncover, whether or not he's a domestic agent, whether or not he's a foreign agent, whether or not he is both. And as we know, New Mexico overwhelmingly approved a bipartisan commission called the Truth Commission in order to get to the bottom of any crimes that were committed at Zorro Ranch, Epstein's ranch in New Mexico. As we know, it is being demolished right now by this far-right Christian group, MAGA group, that just bought it. But the House of Representatives looking into it because another email that was in this release, an email that was sent to a local radio show host that said that there was 2 young girls buried on that ranch. Around the world, we are seeing people held to account. Yes, Kathy Rumler had to step down for her position, but we aren't seeing anywhere close to any kind of arrests, prosecutions, investigations to Epstein's associates here in the United States. Number one, obviously being Trump, more coming out there about the fact that the FBI evidently had interviews with girls who claimed that he raped them. And he's sitting here saying that he's exonerated, which is the complete opposite. Now you understand why Pam Bondi went and testified about how high the Dow was, because she knew she could not answer truthfully in a way that would please Trump. And being a lawyer, she knew about perjury charges. Kash Patel evidently didn't care enough about that, saying somehow that Epstein hadn't trafficked anyone, which with these emails, we're seeing overwhelming evidence that not to be the case. But here, just Bloomberg reporting on this forwarding of non-public information from the White House to Epstein about a sex scandal involving Kathy Rumler and whether or not she had participated in any sort of cover-up or not, but her trying to manage the PR around it that was going to be affecting her, just as she has been trying to manage the PR affecting Epstein. This just shows even more why we need the rest of these files released. We need even more redactions when it comes to the conspirators, associates, obviously more protection for the privacy of the survivors. My name is Dina Dahl. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Find the Mistrial podcast wherever you listen to podcasts and check out our sponsors in the description below. So grateful for our sponsors not censoring us in these very important conversations.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.